Hello, this video will be a guide to building a Battlemage character. Battlemage class, it's a hybrid class, and it's a hybrid because it's comprised of one Fight Mastery and one Magic Mastery. The Fight Mastery is Warfare and the Magic Mastery is Earth. A true hybrid means that you have to invest in Strength and Intelligence, because usually you would not have to go for one of, you only go for one of those and ignore the other, but as a hybrid you need both, because you deal both physical and elemental damage. Alright, I shall begin with the skills of Warfare. First of all, remember the key skills, like Onslaught Tree especially, and then some others like Weapon Training, Battle Standard with Triumph. I know I didn't put points in Triumph here, but because I built this character before I got the fan patch, which fixes Triumph. And yeah, and also 1 point in Battle Rage, if you remember. I know the dual wield tree is one of the signature warfare trees, and in fact I would say as a battle mage probably it's a good idea to go for dual wield. The only reason I spec'd out of it here, it was in Legendary Act 4 when I needed to take up a shield because I needed some more defense as I was dying fast. So I took up a shield and gave up the dual wield, but really for most of the game dual wield will be good, and if your battle mage is strong enough and can survive Act 4, then just keep going with it. But the thing is, you will also need skills in a lot of other skill points in a lot of other places, and so you might run out of skill points. I would ignore these two sort of skill trees. I mean, Warwind is an alright skill, and the Ancestral Warriors as well, but like I said, you really wouldn't have enough skill points for all this. And Ancestral Warriors, I mean, I probably should have just put 1 point in there, or not at all. I mean, I only had them for like distraction of bosses. That's already. And Warhound, I mean, it's good to put at least 1 point in it, so you can sort of have like a panic button skill in case you're dying. You can quickly stun monsters and heal up. But I mean, with the Battle Mage, you do have also some Earth skills which do that. So you don't always have to get a Warhound, but it's pretty good. I mean, with one of the strategies I'll point out a bit later, Warhound is actually plays a big part in it. Alright, let's go to Earth now. First of all, firstly, important skill tree for Battle Mage is the Earth Enchantment tree. I would ignore the Stone Skin, the last one, because that's a waste of skill points. You only get 25% fire resistance, and for 10 skill points, that's not really worth it. However, the first two are quite worth it. I mean, I would probably go just 1 point in the skill itself, and then max out the Brimstone, which is that second skill. But if you have spare skill points, feel free to max the Earth Enchantment as well, but I think you probably most of the time you'll need skill points elsewhere. Here's the offensive Earth skills. You have 3 or 2 trees in a skill. The Flame Surge tree, the one I marked with the yellow arrow, that one is probably the most useless skills in Earth Masteries, because it's just really weak and has a really bad range. I mean, unless you want a challenge, then I wouldn't go for it. Only if you want some challenge then. But otherwise, Volcanic Orb and Eruption are way better skills. I mean, Volcanic Orb, the one I marked with blue, that's probably a good tree to go for like early in the game. But then later on, you probably would want to swap for Eruption, because Eruption is just as good, if not better, and it just only requires 12 skill points, while Volcanic Orb requires much more. Or alternatively, you can have them both if you want, because the more offensive skills, the better. That's providing if you have enough skill points. And here's the strategy that I wanted to mention. With Eruption and Warhound combined, you can create quite a havoc. First of all, when you get into a group of enemies, cast Eruption, and momentarily cast Warhound. That way they'll start taking damage and they won't be able to run away from it. These two are like 1 point wonders. I'm marked here. In red circle I put Heat Shield. If you cast that, then it gives you automatic 15% resistance to physical damage. The only thing is, once someone attacks with fire, it absorbs fire. Once it absorbs enough fire damage, it will go off. So you'll have to recast it again. That's the only thing. So that's always quite a good skill to have. At least 1 point is what you need in it, because after that it's only going to be a waste. I know I put 2 there, but that's because it was getting depleted by fire damage too fast. The one in the green circle, that's stone form. Once again, just one point is enough, and what it does is basically makes you invulnerable for 6 seconds, so that gives you time to heal up. So that's really, when you're dying, you just quickly, as a panic button, have that. Also, as a battle mage, I would highly advise you to have the Core Dweller. Core Dweller is a pet, and he's not very strong attack-wise, but he's really good as a defense. I say, for Earth characters, I would mostly advise him for mage characters, because they're quite weak, they cannot handle damage. So they need the Core Dweller to attract the enemies. Battlemage is the same. Battlemage is a very offensively based class, and so lacks on defense highly, and so you need to balance it out with a Core Dweller. That means Core Dweller will attract all the enemies, and while he does that, you go for it and kill them. So for that I say Core Dweller is pretty important for a battle mage. Make sure you only put 1 point in the Wildfire. You don't need to max it. But the other skill points like Metamorphosis and Inner Fire, they're really important. In fact, I should have, see, I ran out of skill points here, but I would really advise you to max them all. I would really ignore Flame Surge. I mean, Flame Surge would probably only be useful for you in like first half of normal difficulty, because that's when it will deal a lot of damage to enemies. But after that, you really need a lot of intelligence in order to make it powerful. And since you're a battle mage, you can't afford to spend too many points in intelligence. You need a lot in strength. So I'd say have it early game if you want, but after about 2/3 of normal, you're better off just removing it and investing in better skills. And finally, volatility. I'd say if you are dealing in quite a lot of elemental damage, probably just put at least 1 point in it. It's going to be pretty useful, because once in a while, after every 3rd hit or something, it'll do much more fire damage to enemies. So that was it. But you know, as a battle mage, you can there's sort of 2 ways to go on about it. You can either balance out your physical and elemental damage, or like some people do, you can just entirely ignore all the elemental damage, just go for strength and physical damage, and just use earth for sort of defensive skills like stone form and heat shield and probably Core Dweller. So, you know, it's a give and take. It's a hard class to play as. It's one of the hardest, one of the trickiest classes. But, well, you know, that was my first class ever, and that was the first class I completed Legendary with, so it is possible. Okay, finally I'll go for the attributes. There's much to say here. As you see, my strength, intelligence, dexterity, I had to invest in all of them. Strength is the most important one, and then intelligence and dexterity sort of come next. I say probably need more intelligence than I've got here. Probably at least 300 or 350, that would be much more useful. But even then, if you see, my damage per second is quite weak. That's with the Earth enchantment on. However, once the Onslaught switches on, it gets at least double that. But even then, that's not powerful either. It's only going to be about 3,000 or so. And this is secondary stats. I mean, it's all very minimalistic here. I mean, I got defensive ability about 900, well, 850 even. That's the least you would want. You don't want any lower than that. Offensive ability 700 is alright. So I find that's pretty much it. See, that's pretty much really basic. My battle mage, it doesn't have much of a good stuff, because it was my first character after all. And if you see, got 235 total deaths. That's how shit I was. But yeah, I hope this guide has helped you, and good luck in building your battle mage, or any other hybrid class for that matter. Bye bye.